Hello and greetings and all that assorted stuff. I'm going to be doing the 12 months of 2019. The card of the month, which is the major dynamic of the month, and also spells out really how the year is flowing. So we're going to start with that. I think what I started with, and I found oddly outside the deck and in the middle of the room, hold on here, is this is the card, the Emperor. The theme of the year is the Emperor, which means everything is final. Make a decision, obey the decision. Don't leave it up in the air. It's the Emperor's will. It also is not a very emotional or loving card. It's more like, hey, these are the rules. We're playing by them. We're no longer going to wait for your opinion or wait not to offend anyone or find what you need second to last. It's all about starting this year off very almost dictatorial, like the Emperor. The Emperor makes it, thumbs up, thumbs down. The Emperor says what will be. So take that as the general theme of 2019 is take no prisoners. Make your decisions, stand by them. I think the music's getting a bit loud because it's Das Rheingold and it's little Wagner. It's always a good way to start out, but luckily not quite in front of the camera. I'm on the technical side, it's behind the camera. And I'm stepping heavily because I'm causing the camera to jump. But without further ado, we're going to go into the first card, which is January's card, which is the Eight of Rods, which is getting your work organized, getting everything lined up, straightened out, and that's what your focus should be on. You should only really see the work you have to do, get it organized, get many jobs done, and be very fearless about lining everything up and attacking things one at a time or all at once, but be an organized, effective attack. So that's January, which is like get your shit done in January. Don't be distracted by anything but what you have to do. Now, it's not a time for relationships, it's a time for work. And which brings us to February. I love this card. This card, which is obviously you can see right here. Okay. All right, Four of Rods. Four of Rods is the foundations of a happy home. It's the four corners, the four cardinal points of the compass. It's basically February is not about anything but getting everything straight in your world, in your home life, in your entire what you consider to be yours. Even if it's just the things you do or how you do things, make sure it's organized and you can see the end goal. Set your sights and your plans on getting what you need and being happy where it's going and making sure you're on that course. So that's February. So that's interesting. That's a good card. I like it because it shows just do what has to be done, find your focus and stick with your focus. And then we go to March. And March is the Five of Swords, right, Five of Swords. Just kind of here. Five of Swords. Five of Swords is picking up after battle. It's about gathering the weapons that were used, putting them aside, getting things organized, and going forward, and catching up with that. Maybe left some people, or maybe some people have left you behind, but it's not so important. It's about catching up to those people and joining back into the group of your friends and family that were there for you, and moving on. But you're gonna have to. March is gonna be a picking up the pieces kind of month. So be prepared for the whole month of March and only deal with your problems. Lots of people are going to have problems. It's not your job to fix them, to even understand them, even talk to them. Drop it and run. It's not so much about fixing things or making sure everyone's okay. It's about fixing the things you have to fix up and moving forward. And I'm going to rotate this camera over a little bit because now we're past March. We're going into April. And here we see April again. It's about work again, right? It's about organizing, picking up the pieces, carrying all your projects, which you start out this year at the Eight of Rods. They were kind of out there. You had to organize them. But it's about really April. Gather your pieces, go to work, take all the things you need to work, and really make something of it. Organize it, move forward, and actually get into it. Maybe January is about starting up and figuring out what you have to do. April is really about getting down into it, doing the work, getting satisfaction from doing a job well done. And it's good because as we move into, let's see, right over here, which is May's your payoff, right? So that's where May's coming in. The fifth month coming up of this year is one of the best cards. This is the Six of Cups, right? Six of Cups is happy, almost childish, everything you need and have a good time. It's not late in life. This is a childish, teenage kind of, everything's fun. It's spring, it's flowers, it's everything's coming into bloom. Relationships are coming into bloom. A lot of good, positive human emotions are getting rewarded and coming back into the game. And it's about being fulfillment too. Six of Cups is, it's about getting everything you need for your spring, for your April, for the immediate gratification and the immediate, might not be good forever, might not be saying we're going into a great time field for you, but it's really about saying you have everything you need in May. So really plan on that. Make arrangements to travel or go anywhere, go in May. That's you get your work organized in April, you go into May and you have a good time, and there we go. So where we are, fifth month. Sixth month, right, which we see right down here, is the sun, right? See him? There you go. There you go. Sun. That means it's great because it's a summertime card, so we're dealing with that. It's the beginning of summer. It's the beginning of awakenings, seeing all the details, making sure clarity. It's exposing. There's nothing hidden, deceitful, or mysterious. Even it's about plain, almost boringly practical and fun, and bright lights. See everything. See what is going on, and that's great because it almost means that like things are on course. Summer, the beginning of summer will be summer and nice. So that's a very I like to see when the year is kind of not really changing its course. It's pretty much is as it's supposed to be. I pulled these cards on New Year's Day, New Year's Eve into New Year's Day, and I wanted to let them sit and kind of speak to me for a bit. So here they all are, and here we are going with that. So we're going to go over here. Now we see the next card, the seventh card, as it were, which is my favorite card. It's my card, the King of Pentacles. It's about, yet again, we've come through. It's about getting reward for your work, being the king of your work, being. It's a great time this time to let people know that you know who you are, and you're going to be expected to be paid and remunerated for what you are. You're going to do your work, and you're going to do it. You're known for what you do is best, and when you do it, your work will speak for yourself. In other words, don't mind my all over the place nature, but I love that. It's really a good time to either talk about raises and jobs and all those kinds of things. Like when you want to say, "Hey, look, I've proven my worth. I've done my work." You've seen that in January and in April. It's all come through here. So it's kind of showing you now. Reap those rewards. Speak to who has to be spoken to. Tell them, and don't accept people have their opinions on things. No, if they have information that can help you do something, great. If not, shut up. And then we go right into we have the Empress in the 8th month. This is the back to school time. It's all kinds of things. So it's more about maybe tempering your emperor dictatorial like state and just be a little more understand emotional, but also become like you can understand emotional situations and make very harsh or final decisions based on emotional things. So if things have been tolerated or putting on for the last 8 months, you have to then kind of go, all right, this is my judgment on that. I feel you, I understand your feelings, but I'm going to leave it at done. So be ready for that as the summer comes to an end. It could also be, sometimes it's like summer flings have to be extinguished. Things that have, we're heading towards, it's not the fall yet, but we're stepping into it. Because we're stepping out into September, and what we see in September is the Nine of Swords, which is never a fun card. Nine of Swords means you got a lot of troubles over your head. You're not dealing with them. They're making you depressed. They're making you feel like out of sorts and not right, or people around you are feeling that same way and they're becoming illogical and irrational, that's what's going on. So you know what? You can't do too much about it, but you have to understand that it's happening and don't take it so personally if it does. Because then we come into October, which is another interesting card, right? This is the Three of Rods. It's a work based card, but it's also about kind of finding your singularity, backing off from people, and is focusing on your work. If you look at the card, it's three rods, but it shows you as the fourth rod, like you're the fourth corner. You're the missing. Without you, nothing works. There's no foundation. There's no happy home. We see that the Four of Rods, needs you to become the foundation. So there's 2019 is going to be about focusing on yourself, focusing on your work, and not letting people take you away. Because if someone takes you away from your work, the house will crumble. You can't do your work and someone else's work. It's really just about you. But then we see in November for the holidays, it's the Ace of Cups, which is a really providential card. Providence. It's about getting everything you need. It's about the accumulation. These last 11 months will accumulate, in the beautiful Ace of Cups, which is that you get everything. You get everything you need. Is the perfection of your needs. The singular thing you focused on this year, or what you've been your focus of the whole year, is coming to fruition. So that's November. That's before the holiday season, and then we see the holiday season starts out. It's the Knight of Pentacles, right? So it's like it's a money card. It's a newer energy. It's a youthful, so it's a start of new things. So be prepared that we're going to take this whole year and we're going to end as we get ready for a new beginning, a new financial. It's not a setback. It's a movement forward, and you're gonna have to be ready and use December not to be distracted by the holidays and all kinds of things. And there's gonna be a lot of weird stuff going on this next year, and you have to keep your focus on yourselves and on your prizes, not on the general things of someone. Do not clickbait and follow memes that say in Africa someone killed a rhinoceros, and in Guatemala, it's not about the whole world. It's about you and your world. If you happen to be in Africa, then maybe you should go to a protest about killing rhinoceroses. But if you're not in Africa, stop sitting around getting upset, because it's taking your focus away from you and what you have to do. So that's the year. You can scan through here and see the cards a little bit. I'm doing some very crappy camera maneuver, but it's all there. Remember, this is the year of the Emperor. It's a year of you making decisions, not having decisions made for you. And with that, I will say good night and happy New Year, day or too late, whatever. And prepare for the year. Prepare for the brand new Omnivoyant, which is coming out. It's being developed now. It'll be out in a week or two, and all kinds of great things. But until that time, stay well, stay weird, and good night.